Hi everyone, welcome back to our video series on product management. So in our last video, we have covered the introductions of the major topics related to product management, uh, which are product discovery, product delivery, product optimization, product strategy, and what we are going to cover regarding interviews in this course as well. So today we are going to discuss the major terms that are frequently used in product management. I call it jargons. So the main reason is for an outsider, it might not be, it will feel like it's out of context, some of these jargons. But for a product manager for an upcoming product manager, these jargons are very important to understand. You should know what are these, and you should be able to give out examples on these. So that is what we are going to cover in this video. So let's go ahead. So in product discovery, uh, these four items are the major risks that we discussed in last video as well: value, usability, feasibility, and viability. But we didn't discuss in length what are these four items, why are these important, and as a product manager, what you should understand about these four items. So the first one is the first thing you should understand is each of these risks has to be managed uh, by yourself with the help of other team members. So as a product manager, you have to really understand the value your product is delivering to your user, and whether the product is very usable for the user. And in terms of usability, you will have to discuss it in detail with the product designer. And when it comes to feasibility, as a product manager, you will have to discuss it in length with the tech lead to understand the technical capabilities, to understand the timeline, etc. And when it comes to viability, as a product manager, you will have to discuss it with the business team, whether it makes sense to put so much effort in this product, whether you will get a lot of revenue from this product, etc. So let's go ahead and look at the first one. So you have to really think about what value your product is uh, delivering to the user. So these three questions are the major questions you have to think about. You have to try to answer these questions as a PM. Before deciding that, you are going to build the product. So the first question is, who's the user? There is a saying that if you try to be everything for everyone, you'll end up becoming nothing for no one, right? So you have to really understand the user. You have to decide that you are only going to cater to a specific set of users, and you have to build the product for them. So that is the first question: who is the user? You have to define it thoroughly. One example can be a blog writer who is trying to market uh, their blogs in social media. That can be a user for you. And the second question is, what are the unique features your product is offering? So for this particular user, in the example, this user is a blog writer, right? So she's writing blogs and she's trying to market her blogs and get a bit of fame using social media. So what are the unique features you are providing this user? So that is the second question you need to ask. And the third question is, why would they choose your product? Why would this particular writer choose your product? And that's the third question you should ask. So Once you get answers to all of these, that is when you go to the next step, which is thinking about usability. Now that you have answered the previous questions, who's the user, what are the unique features, and why would those users use your product? So now you understand the reason of the user to use your product. The next part is usability. Even if they have a strong reason to use your product, can they use your product? That is this usability. And here again, you have to ask three questions to yourself. You have to discuss it with your designer. Whenever you are working in a company, you will have a product designer as well. And in this case, when it comes to usability, designer has also has a say. So you have to discuss these three questions with the designer and understand more. So the first question is, what task the users need to accomplish? In the example I have given, the writer, the blog writer, she want to uh, market herself on social media. So what is the task that the user is trying to accomplish? That is one question you need to ask. And you have to, uh, again, is this product easy to learn? Even if you build the product, it is, have you built it in such a way that it is very easy for a new user to learn the product? And the third question is, do users encounter any difficulties while completing their tasks? So the whole assumption is, since you know the value of the product, since you know user has a strong reason, you are now thinking about whether the user will use this product, whether the user can use this product to accomplish certain tasks. So these are the questions you need to ask yourself and make sure that users can use your product to accomplish specific tasks, and it is very easy to learn. The next part is feasibility. This is another jargon that is being used very frequently, and this is more important when it comes to product delivery. This becomes more important when you're trying to deliver the product. So it is really important for you to make up your mind regarding the feasibility risk during the during this stage itself. So you have to make sure that your team can build this product and it makes sense to put so much effort. Only after that you should start delivering. So in the product discovery stage itself, you have to think about the feasibility. So the major question is you should ask here is, can we build this product with the current resources? That's the first question. If you are a PM in a small startup with three product managers and let's say 15 or 20 engineers, you might be having so many responsibilities already. You might be having so many priorities already. With all those priorities, do you have enough resources? In the sense, do you have enough team members, engineers to build this product? That is one question you really need to ask. Do we have enough time to build it? Let's say you have to build the whole WordPress website. When I mean WordPress website, I meant WordPress platform itself. And if you only have 1 month to build it, it's not going to happen, right? There are so many plugins, there are so many other features in WordPress. So if you are the product manager in WordPress and you only have 1 month time, it's not going to happen. So this is where the feasibility thought process is coming in. You have to think, do you have enough time to build this product? If you don't have enough time, what you should probably do is you should reduce the scope and then uh, build the product accordingly in phases. And the third question is, does the market demand justify the efforts? So let's say even if you have enough resources, you have three engineers to work on this particular feature, and you have 1 month time. But still, you should think about the efforts you're going to put in. Should you put all this effort into this particular feature or something else? That is the third question. Does the market demand justify your efforts? You have to make sure that whatever efforts you are putting in, even if you have the resource and time, should make sure those efforts are not wasted. So this is the third question. And the next thing you should keep in mind is viability. If feasibility is all about uh, aligning the engineering team, engineering lead, viability is all about aligning the business team with your product goals. So think about it. You have talked to uh, customers and understood the value you are providing. You have talked to the design team and you now know that, okay, users are going to use this. You have reduced the usability risk as well, right? And you have talked to the engineering team and you have understood that, okay, it's feasible to uh, build this product. We can put so much effort into this product. It makes sense. But in the end, it should make business sense. You have to align the business team. You have to communicate these items to the business team and talk to them regarding these two questions. Can the product generate enough revenue? Even if you can build the product and people are using it, if it cannot generate the revenue, it doesn't make sense. That is one way to look at it. So profitable companies usually think about revenue. But the second question is a bit different. Even though it doesn't make revenue, it will still make sense to go ahead and build the product. And this is only applicable in few cases where product is not generating revenue, but it is really aligning with the long-term vision and strategy of the company. So that is the second question. Does the product align with company's long-term vision and strategy? So these are the questions you have to think about. And I have given few examples regarding uh, usability and thinking about the value risk, right? So just take 1 minute time and you can go back this video, go back to the slide where we were talking about the four risks, because we are going to the next part, which is ideation, testing, and prototype. So once you have uh, discussed about the four risks to all the stakeholders, which are designers, engineers, and business team, now it is the time for you to start working on the product. And this is where ideation, testing, and prototyping comes in. And you have to keep in mind that product managers, designers, tech leads, and business team, everyone should be aligning with the whole process. And as a product manager, it is your duty and responsibility to make sure that you are uh, communicating your plan with the whole team. So let's talk about ideation. Now that you have a basic understanding of the value you are providing about your own users, right? Ideation is all about double checking and going deep into the uh, value you are providing, into the type of users you are serving, etc. So in this stage, you have to ask these four questions and you have to try to answer very honestly to yourself. And this is the tricky part, because if the whole demand is coming from your business owner, let's say business owner is asking you to build a feature, it'll be really hard for you to say no to that request. And during ideation phase, you have to make sure that you're answering these four questions. And that is the only way you can push back to your business owner. You have to think about your customers first. Are your customers who you really think they are? You might be thinking your customer is a blog writer, as I mentioned before, right? A blog writer who want to market herself on social media. So let's say you understand your customer is this particular set of people, but you want to double check on that. You have to make sure you understand your customers very well. Are you sure you want to focus on this customer, or you want to focus on someone else? This is the first question. The second question is, let's say you understand, you are deciding to focus on one particular type of customer. The second question is, do they really have the problems you think they have? So in the previous example, what I think is, the blog writer is trying to market herself on social media, and one problem she is having is she have to copy paste the link from her blog to her social media accounts, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, etc. She have to manually do that. And I'm assuming right now that this is a huge problem for her. She's spending so much time to copy paste the same content to her social media and to add the links, etc. So the second question is all about thinking again on your assumptions. So the assumption here is, it is a huge problem for my customer to copy paste the content to each social media platform. During ideation stage, as a product manager, I will have to focus more on this thing and make sure that this is a real problem they are having. And maybe I'll have to talk to a few users directly and make sure they do have this problem. And the third question is, if I understand the problem correctly, third question is, how do customers solve this problem right now? So if I talk to enough customers, each of them might be solving it very differently. Some people might be keeping track of their social media posts in an Excel sheet. Someone might be doing that on the go, right? They'll have different solutions for the same problem. And the problem here is copy pasting the same content to social media and marketing their blog on social media. This is the problem they are trying to solve. Each of them might be having different solutions. So you have to understand how they are solving the problem today. And the fourth question is, what would be required for them to switch? Basically, what would make them switch to your platform or to your product? So if I understand my customers really well and understand their problem really well, and if I understand the way they are solving it right now, then the fourth question actually will answer what I should build for them as a product manager, right? I know that they are keeping track of everything in an Excel sheet. And then if I'm building a feature, I can actually compare my solution to their solution. And if the solution I'm giving to them through my product, if that solution is really better than the solution they are having, they will definitely switch, right? So that's the question you have to ask. What would be required for them to switch? And that's about the ideation stage. So once these questions are answered, you will actually have a idea about what are the items you need to build, what are the features you need to build for which customer, right? Once you have that, then comes the testing. Now, testing till this point, till ideation point, whatever you had, the ideas you had were all assumptions. You might have talked to few customers, but what customers say, you cannot take everything on face value. because customers might say that okay, I'll use this product, but when it comes to real world, when you launch the product, they might not use your product, even though they had said that they will use your product. So till the stage of ideation, what you have done is you have made some assumptions about your customers, the problems they are having, the solutions they are having right now, and the solutions you are going to give them. And you have aligned your whole team regarding all these four. So your designer and engineer lead and business team, everyone knows that okay, this is the problem you're trying to solve, and this is the solution you're proposing, right? And everything, all of these are assumptions. We don't have real data right now. And that is the importance of testing. You'll get real data once you do the testing. So to manage the four major risks, we have different types of testing. So it's value testing, feasibility testing, usability testing, and viability testing. So few of the testing practices you might be aware of, something like fake door, landing page testing, A/B testing, etc. And for usability, uh, basically product managers should recruit some people or actually get some volunteers to try and use their platform or try and use their features. So we'll discuss in detail regarding all the testing practices in another video, but this is just to give you an understanding. During the testing phase, what are we trying to test and why it is really important to have a testing phase. Once you do the testing, you'll have real data. Let's say your A/B testing, you have two different solutions. So to a set of you divide the customers into two sets. That is A/B testing, and you give one solution to one set of customers and another solution to another set of customers, and you will actually see which solution they are liking better, right? So once you do the A/B testing, you'll understand that okay, this solution is providing some kind of value to the customer, and you can understand that one solution is better than the other solution, right? So this is just one example. Just like that, you'll get real-time data after all these types of testing. So once your testing is also done, that means you now have a, a few data that says, okay, for this set of customers, for people who are trying to, for blog writers who are trying to market themselves on social media, I can offer them a solution. And I'm giving you an example, just an example. Let's say I'm adding a plugin inside the platform, and assume that I'm product manager in WordPress, right? So if I, as a product manager, if I give a plugin for my users in WordPress to directly on a click of a button, directly they can share the articles on uh, different social media accounts. If this is the solution I am proposing, after testing, I'll know that okay, out of 10 users, 6 of them actually love it. So once I get this data, I can go ahead and try it out in real time. And that's the next phase, prototyping. So during testing, uh, you have to make sure you are not spending so much time or so much effort. Even in A/B testing, you should be spending minimal effort and time to uh, test the whole thing. And once you get the data that okay, this might work, then you should build the prototype. And you usually teams take around 1 or 2 weeks to build the prototype itself. And this phase is just to explore and validate whatever assumptions you had, right? A part of in prototyping also, we can test our own assumptions. We can gather feedback, And with those feedbacks, we can actually refine our product. We can refine the features. Uh, let's say the plugin is not visible in the home page, right? In testing, that is what I did, let's say. And in prototyping also, I didn't show that this plugin is available. So some users might give the feedback that, okay, I need the plugin. I need to, I need a step-by-step instructions on how to use the plugin, right? If that is a feedback I'm getting, I can refine the whole feature accordingly. And the whole idea of prototyping is fail fast and fail cheap. So you right now you might have spent 1 week on ideation and 1 or 2 weeks on testing and prototyping, right? So it's just maximum 3 weeks you have spent, and you might not have spent full-time efforts of 20 engineers. You might only have used 2 engineers to do this, and that is very important because the whole idea of testing and prototyping is to uh, make sure that this solution is going to work, and you should do that fast and you should do that with minimal effort. That's the whole idea. And once you have completed this stage as well, then you'll probably have some pointers on how to refine your product, and you'll get a validation on your assumptions. And you have to communicate all these validations to your team members who are mainly designers and engineers and business team, right? You have to, whenever you are making any changes, whenever you are refining your product from the feedback, you have to align the team members as well. But the whole idea is to fail fast and cheap. Now that we have covered prototyping as well, I would like to talk a bit about user persona, user story, and user journey. So these jargons or terms. These are used majorly in a bit more evolved product teams. Uh, Even if your company is a 20 or 30% startup, even then you should be doing all the testing and prototyping to make sure that your efforts are not going to be wasted. But user persona, user story, user journey, etc., these are uh, some of the techniques used by bigger product teams so that they can understand about the user, about the problems of the user in a much more granular level. So let's uh, and product manager and designer both work hand in hand to uh, get those assumptions right about the user, or to get more granular about the user. So let's take the first technique, user persona. User persona is basically a profiling of a particular set of user. So in the previous example, a blog writer who is trying to market herself on social media. So this is one definition I have given to my own user, right? And you have gotten, uh, it's easy for you to imagine a little bit if I give that kind of a definition. Now, what if I am giving a name, an age, occupation, and gender for this particular user? What if I am writing down the goals of this user, the needs of this user, the pain points of this user, right? What if I do that? Let's try it out. So let's take the name is Niharika, and her age is 28. Her occupation, she herself is a product manager, but she is also partly a blog writer. and she's a female, right? Now, her goal is to market herself in social media as a uh, good product manager. She needs to uh, market her content on social media, and she has a separate blog, right? So her goal is to market, right? And what does she need? The needs, I'm defining it as, she want to easily uh, use the content in her blog into her social media accounts. This is her need. And one of her pain points is she is taking half an hour just to copy paste content of one article to four different social media accounts. So let's say this is one pain point. Now I have elaborated all these points about this one particular user. You will be able to imagine or visualize this user with a bit more clarity, right? And once you understand the needs and pain points of this particular user, then you can come up with the features for this user. What features should I provide as a product manager for this user, right? That is the whole point of user persona. Getting more granular clarity regarding the user. And this is one example. Uh, you will get much more examples if you just uh, you know just Google it. So here you can see, uh, yeah, there are more details than I have explained, right? There is status is there, location is there, and there are four words which characterizes this particular user, right? So all these points are not necessary, but these are good to have so that everyone in your team will have their own opinion about the user. Someone might say, okay, this user is will not be empathetic, or they won't be adventurous, let's say. So you have to talk to your teammates, especially your designer, regarding the user persona. And over a period of time, this will evolve. This user persona will evolve, and you will get much more clarity about the user. And the main advantage of having a user persona is your whole team will be aligned with the needs and pain points of the user. Once that is done, it is very easy for you to convince your team members that okay, this user will need this particular feature. It will be very easy if everyone is aligning with the pain points and needs. So you can use the whole user persona as a communication technique as well to align all the team members, right? Once you have this, what will happen is whenever you are thinking about any problem or any solution, you'll always go back to the user personas. You might be having 10 or 15 different user personas. It's not just one user persona, because in your target user segment, you can be targeting uh, blog writers, you can be targeting e-commerce business owners, right? If you are a product manager in WordPress, you can target multiple customers, and each of those segment of customers, you can make different user personas. Now I think it's pretty clear right now, so I'll go to the next one, which is user story. So now that you have a user persona, you understand the needs and pain points of the user, and you're assuming that to solve the pain point of the user, you have to build one particular feature, which is, I'll give the example, the you are planning to create a plugin so that the user can just click on that and directly share their article on their social media accounts directly from their website. So, what is user story? User story is basically a description about one particular feature. Now, the plugin is the feature you are trying to create, right? Now, in the user story, you have to describe uh, a bit about the user and a bit about what the user need, and you have to define what will be the acceptance criteria, because this user story will be used by the engineering team. They will be seeing this user story, and that is how they'll understand more about the feature. They should understand who's the user of this feature and what does that user need and what is the acceptance criteria, right? Acceptance criteria is basically whatever feature the engineering team is building, that feature will be accepted. You will go ahead and launch the feature only if this particular criteria is being met. That is the meaning of acceptance criteria. An example I have given here is the plugin should allow users to connect their social media accounts. So one feature can have multiple acceptance criteria, 3 or 4 criterias, and that's fine. Again, one more thing is priority of the uh, feature. So in the user story, uh, you should have the priority as well. Is it a low priority item? Is it a high priority item? Right. So this helps you to manage the different features. This helps you to manage the whole delivery of different features, right? And that is what user story is all about. And another thing is user journey. So in user journey also, uh, designer, you should talk to the product designer as well. What you have to uh, think about is, once you uh, imagine that you have launched the feature, now you have to think about what the user is seeing and what the user is doing. You have to imagine that and you have to write it down step by step. Let's say user is coming to the WordPress, user is typing the uh, address in URL, you in the box, right? And he's coming directly to the WordPress website, but he's not logged in right now. So what does he see? He'll see the login page. So that's the first thing he's seeing. Now he has already, so let's assume he has already logged in before. So he'll have the saved password and everything. So he's just clicking on that and logging in. And the first thing he sees the home page, and he'll have a navigation bar on the left and something else on the right. So this is how you describe what the user is seeing and what the user is doing. And this is really important because this give you a glimpse of the user experience itself. How does your user experience your product? This is what you will get from the user journey. And when you have defined the user journey for different tasks, let's say one example we used was the plugin, right? Plugin for sharing the article in social media. That is one feature. Now another feature can be referring one of their friend to the WordPress platform itself, right? That can be another feature. So for each feature, you have to think about it as two different tasks. So to accomplish these two tasks, user will have to go through two different journey. So for each of this task, you have to write one unique user journey. User is first seeing coming to home page, and user is clicking on plugins. Then she is selecting the particular plugin. Things like that, right? That is one journey. So you have to write the journey for each different tasks. Once you do that, you'll understand more about the experience of the user. So let's just take a moment and think about what we have covered till now. We have covered about the four risks, and we have covered testing, ideation, testing, and prototyping, and we have covered user persona, uh, user stories, and user journey. So now that you have, once the prototyping is done, then you'll start delivering the product itself, right? So we'll talk about product delivery in another video. But before that, in this video, I would like to cover two more things. One is value proposition, another thing is product differentiation. So these two terms are also very important for a product manager to know, because these two, uh, value proposition is basically communicating the unique benefits and value that a product provides to its customers, solving specific problems. This is the like broad definition of value proposition. To simplify it, value proposition is where you communicate about the value and your customers and the specific problems you are solving. Whenever you are, as a product manager, whenever you are talking to your customers, whenever you are talking to the sales team, uh, your stakeholders, business heads, right? You have to start with the value proposition so that the other person will understand who are you serving and what value you are delivering and what are the problems you are focusing on. So this is the three most important parts of a product. So we'll go through one example. Let's take the WordPress example itself, right? So if I am the product manager of WordPress, one way I'll put the value proposition across will be like this. WordPress is trying to build a product which enables their B2C customers to build their custom website without having to write a code. So what were the three items in value proposition? One is the customers. Who are the customers, right? It's B2C customers. And what value am I delivering to them? I'm enabling them to build their custom website. And what is the specific problem I'm solving? It is they don't have to write code. So these are the three uh, major things you should always talk about whenever you are talking about your product, the value of your product. So that is value proposition. Yeah. So these are the three things, right? This is the customers and what value I'm delivering through my product. It enables to build their custom website, and specific problems without having to write a code. So that is value proposition. And let's talk about product differentiation. So product differentiation is, the whole idea is to uh, build a product that is not already there on the market, right? If somebody else is giving the same solution, why should the customer come to you? So if the customer has to come to you, you should give something different, you should deliver something different. That is the whole idea of differentiation. And all the business heads and all the investors will always be interested in product differentiation. How different is your product from the ones that are available in the market? So you have to, while thinking about the solution itself, uh, while thinking about the whole product development itself, you have to think about the differentiation. Like in the market, there might be already so many solutions, so many products available, right? Are you giving a different solution to the user? That is the that's the question you have to answer while talking about differentiation. So it's mainly distinguishing a product from its competitors. It's distinguishing, right? By highlighting its unique features and benefits. So you have to talk about the unique features and the benefits the users are getting. So one example will be in the WordPress. If we take the WordPress example, unlike their competitors, WordPress has drag and drop feature, widgets, and customizable templates. So these are the unique features, which makes it easy and affordable for small business owners to make a website in hours, not weeks. So here, unique features are also there, and the benefits are it's easy and affordable, and it will take hours, not weeks. These are the benefits. So this is the product differentiation. So even if you are not communicating to anyone, even if you're not presenting to anyone, you still have to think about the differentiation, how your product is different from the solutions that are available in market. You have to think about this while building the product itself. So we have covered a lot of things today, and these are the uh, major terms that are being used in product management. And it's important for you to understand these terms. And I would actually suggest you guys to think about the user journey, user persona, etc. You can go and Google it, and you can come up with your own examples. Try to write your own value proposition, your own user persona, etc. And that will really help you guys. So that's it for this video, and see you soon in next video. Thanks for watching.